Hi, my name is Caroline Ney. I just wrote an article for School Arts Magazine that chronicles how I created a website for art education. So we're on the homepage right now, and you can see right here it says Ready, Set, art lesson resources for teachers and students. Although the domain name is Caroline Ney, it is searchable. If you opened up another tab, you typed in my name, you would see it right here, ready to go. Now, later I will explain how some of the epic fails I had in order to make it searchable, because when I first launched it and you try to Google search me, it would say Caroline Bay. Did you mean Caroline Bay? And you wouldn't see my name. So I'm going to go through all of that to make it easier. All right, so I want to first show you what I wanted for my website. So when you see it, you kind of understand what I did. So here's my homepage, something new. Link to my blog, talks about my process, some of the classes, my philosophy, and supplies. I also will explain later how I did this video right here. It's an Animoto video. It's really interesting. So there are things that I do pay for extra, even though I use Google Sites to make this and that part's free. There are some things that you do pay for, and I think you should, as a teacher, when you're trying to save money, these are things you need to think about. But I thought I paid for it anyway. It ultimately made my school year so much easier. For me, it was an investment just for my mental health. So let's go back to the top. That's the home page. I have my different tabs here. What we do for sketchbooks. Everyone does a sketchbook. Contact info. And you can see there's a Google form here that we use for that. I'll show you how to do that. My blog, right? You scroll down, you can see the different dates of my blogs. Sorry, sometimes it takes me a moment. There it is. I wrote a book. The kids have a workbook in class that they can go through and draw and read in and write in. I don't sell it. It's just here. You could see the different chapters are here. You could click on it, and it's a Google Doc form, right? I also have it as a PowerPoint. Now, this is a PowerPoint within the website, and that's not a Google product, and you have to embed that. And when we get to the part where I'm showing you how to make the website, you'll see a part that says embed, right? So if you're using something that's non-Google, there is a way to get things in there that are non-Google, all right? But you can see slides. Now, because this is a Google site, it doesn't have my transition in there, which is a page curl. And when I swipe on the screen in class, it actually turns like a page, which is really, really neat. You would have to use PowerPoint online to do that. And then my 3 different classes. So you can see here, it goes like this, right? Let's go to intermediate art. These are all my different lessons for the year. This is great for counselors explaining what is actually taught in the class. So sometimes students, when they're transferring classes, because maybe they took something else for 6th and 7th grade, and then all of a sudden they didn't like it, but they feel they're ready for advanced art, even though they didn't take the other 2 classes, right? So we can open this up, and we tell the students, if you think you can handle these advanced assignments, and we show it to the parent, then by all means, your child can be in there. That's totally fine, but just understand that this is an advanced class, and they're lessons for students that already took intermediate and beginning art. All right. Going back to the top. Let's click on Florida Animal. So if you look at this and we scroll down, you could see I have some videos here, right? It has the actual assignment. Now, if it doesn't say by who, it's me. I made almost all of the art pieces that you see. Sometimes you might see a Google slide that's inspired from an artist, and in that case, it will say by that artist. So I always credit if it's another artist, right? You can see this says YouTube video, and I'll explain why I use that later. Follow-up assignments, all that good stuff, right? If I went into here and I clicked on trees, I'll show something else. So see, this is the sketchbook assignment that I teach step-by-step in class, but if I have a sub or if I have a kid is absent, then they can access the video here. What's really nice for subs is I send them 3 Google slides. So it's like, here's Google slide, and the first slide will have links to all of this. So for the sub, all they have to do is pull up the Google slide and click on the links that I put on that slide, and it goes directly to these lessons, and it makes it a lot easier for them as well. You could also see that my Google Slides for lessons are in here, right? See, there's the artist Dana Irving. If we click on that, then it could go a lot bigger, which is great for students that are using those tiny little Chromebooks, right? Let's go ahead and click out of that. How do we make all this? All right. So I'm going to go new, more, Google Sites. And we have a blank slate. There are different themes. If you click on that, I'm just going with simple. And I actually preferred simple because we change all of the images anyway. So I just stick with this one. So you can see here, this is where you enter your site name, right? That means no matter what page I go to, see, there's my site name, Caroline Ney, but if I go to this page, there's still my site name right there. Okay, so that's where you do that. And then here's your little titles. You could change your image from there, and then you're going to add your content underneath. I'm going to go back to insert. Here's our content blocks. Let's pretend we're using this one. And you can see this one's an image with the title and the text. And then maybe you want to add another one, right? Most people add more than just one content block on these pages, right? You want to scroll down and see new things. So what if you didn't like this part here? I'm going to go ahead and 4 arrow, hold, move up. And you could see as I get to here, there's that blue line right over there, right? Click. And now it moved that content block over there. Let's go back to the bottom. All right, so now when it comes to uploading, so these are the things that epic fail-wise could happen. So if you go right here, let's say it's going from the Google Drive. Anytime you upload a video or an image into the from the drive, you need to go back into Google Drive, find that file, and make it shareable to everyone in public, right? So because otherwise, if you don't, when you go to open this website, this might look blank. And the whole point of the website is that we're able to look at. So just make sure that if it's from the drive, it has to be shareable, okay? You could upload your YouTube videos from there as well. Okay, let's go back here. Let's add a page because most people are going to have more than one page, right? Okay, page. Right now we're on the home page. And if you move your cursor here, these little 3 dots come up. We're going to add a subpage. Call it blog. All right. And we're already on the blog page. Here it is. Now, if you watch some of the tutorials, it will show you how you can put the tabs already up here. Otherwise, if you don't like that, if you feel it's too cluttered, then leave it like this with the arrow, right? Arrow, blog. We're on the blog. You need to go back to home, click home, right? Okay, let's go back to blog. I want to show you other inserts. So besides the content blogs, there's all these other ones. So let's pretend we want an image carousel. If you click on that, you can add a bunch of different images here, but it is a preset size. What does that mean? Let's go back to my website. All right, so home. I'm going to scroll down, and there it is. There's an image carousel that I use. You can see it's a preset size. So it's these images look cropped, right? So as I scroll through, that's an image carousel. And you can see I can, if I want to go back to second image, right? Well, I guess I'll just do that. Anyways, here's my image carousel, and that's how that works. All right, other little things. You only need map if you actually have a store for people to go to. You want to give them directions on how to get there, right? Your Google Docs, your slides, forms. Now, if you need a form in there, you have to create it in your drive first. You cannot create the form within the Google site, right? So like a contact information sheet. So you go My Drive, New, and there's Forms. Click on Forms. And then you create your form, you change the name, and then when you go back to the site and you click on Forms, whatever you made recently, because as you know, in Google, they automatically save, you'll find it there, and then you can move it in, right? So that's just, as you know. All right, so this is when you're starting over, right? And then you're ready. What if you're ready to launch? So this is what my site looks like when I need to work on it, right? And when you're ready to publish, right? Of course, you want to make it shareable, right? So let's see, this is a public one. Go to publish, and when you publish, now I haven't changed anything in here, so I don't need to publish again, but the first time you publish it, you're going to have to create a domain name. So like mine is www.carolinenay.com. And you have to pay for that domain. So I just looked at prices recently. It starts from $7 up, and I think when I did mine, it was $11.99. So there are some things that you do pay for. So that's one of them. You pay for each year. All right. So when you publish it, you paid for the domain, and you still can't search it. You go to Google search, and it says Caroline Bay instead, which is what happened to me. So I looked at tutorials, and in order to make it searchable, right? How do I make my Google site searchable, right, to the public? And it turns out you need to go back through Google Analytics. Now, I detail this more in the School Arts Magazine article that I wrote. So you can go back and look through that, or you can just, when it's time for you to launch your site, open up another tab, open up the videos that show how to do the Google Analytics, right? How to make my Google site searchable. And you'll have to go through the Google Sites for Analytics, and you just follow all those steps. And you know, I think it's hard when you're reading the steps. I think it's easier to just pause in the video each step and then just do the steps. Once you're done with Google Analytics, it takes 24 hours for it to make your site searchable. If you try to search it right after, it won't. It didn't show up for me, but after 24 hours, it certainly did. So that's really nice. Let's go back to my site. All right. So we talked about, so far, the main price that you have to pay is the domain at that point. If your site is as big as mine, with all those videos and those images, because each image is has a lot of data in it. If it's done through your personal email, no matter how many emails I deleted, it took up so much storage, I did have to pay the premium. Now, if you're using your school email, I will say the benefit is generally school emails hold a lot more data. So if you're not interested in having it searchable for everyone out of the school district, then maybe school email is best for you if you just want your students to see it. And then you wouldn't have to pay the premium to hold all that storage, right? All right, one more thing that you might want to pay for that I do, and that's Animoto videos. So these are neat. Animoto videos are, they're templates that you can upload images and videos into, and it does it as a video. So this is what's really, really neat. And I like that you could do your virtual art shows this way, right? So let's get started on how that works. I'm going to go up to Animoto. And you can see here's one of my virtual art shows. This is nice. So I don't do a big art show at the end of the school year that's in the gym and all that stuff. I take pictures of artwork throughout the year, and I upload it into this, and I just kind of work as I go throughout the year. And then on the last day, I show the virtual art show for that. And it's really nice. And the kids like seeing it too, because usually on the last day, you're not doing anything anyway. And it's nice to have something like this. You press create. And you could see that there's templates ready to go, or you can start from scratch. I'm going to start from scratch. And there's different templates that you can choose from. There's so many really interesting templates that you can use. The ones that were, if the video only shows black and white images, just know if you upload a color image, it will change it to black and white. So like, see this one. Come on. There it is. See how that's black and white? If you upload a color image into that, it will change it to black and white. And you may want that, but I don't. So I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to pick landscape because that fits our screen better. You could upload images from here, but I'm going to go ahead and skip, because ultimately when you click on project here, you can go ahead and import from there anyway. Just know, whatever image you pick, if it's a large photo, it may not upload properly. I had to resize the photos from small to medium and small, and then it made it much easier to work. For right now, I'm just going to use stock though. So let's pretend we like, I don't know, let's like this one, right? Yay. And then you could see the seconds here. It's only 3 seconds long. Yay. If I wanted more, I would. And you could add text from there, right? Let's add another block. These are the different layouts. I know it's loading. So let's pretend let's pick this one. You could upload images from there, right? Add text to each one if you wanted. And this one's 9 seconds long. You could change the colors. You can add the audio. And when you're ready to play, you press play. And you can see it has a slight movement to it. It's really, really nice and more entertaining for students. All right. Now, let's go. I'm going to exit out of that, go back to my website. Thank you for watching this video explaining how this website was made. I am so much happier having a website for students to access where everything is there. It makes it easier presentation wise. It makes it easier for counselors to use, for admin to use. It's just an all access place. If the online platforms at the school district go down, the website's always available, and it works great on your mobile phone too, because it does change the format a little bit. But again, for students, when you're in an art room, sometimes if you're working with big pieces, you don't necessarily want your big, huge Chromebook in front of you either, taking up that space, especially in a crowded class. And so having the phone out is really helpful as well. All right. So I hope that helps. I did mention some of the payments involved. There is the minimum of the domain payment, and I think that's fine. It really does help me a lot. If you want to read more, you go to School Arts Magazine and you can read the article that I wrote for it. Thank you.